Hello, YouTube. ZiggyNo back with another weekly review of YouTube sports card content. This week I'm going to hit on some of the old favorites, ones that again I still find value, and again I want to say there's a lot of good value out there. But I decided to also introduce some new content providers I've come across and some of the interesting things I've seen from them that I think is worth a look or a subscription. Again, this is week 8. It's July. Hope you guys are all doing well, staying healthy, and staying safe. I'll start with Sports Card Live. I talk about these guys, I think, about every week. They continue to put up quality content, so it's hard to stop talking about them. Really good interview this week with Chris from Card Ladder. I thought that was really, really well done. Had a really good conversation there, talking about House of Jordan, Card Ladder. A lot of content providers joined the conversation, so that was really good as well, because I like how, again, Jeremy does all these shows live, so big fan of that. Definitely check out Sports Card Live. Great interviews. There's one going on right now that I was listening to earlier, but here I am taping the show. A new provider to the channel here is the Fantasy Football Card Quest guy. So this guy is pretty neat. I found him through the Comeback Card Investor. And what I see neat is that he's got an interesting perspective. He loves football. He's big into fantasy football. And now he's kind of merging the two with sports cards. Now, I don't know if it's going to be successful. I love his energy. I love his videos. He put out a video. If you go here, I think it's the rookie card breakout finder. He does, he's a brand new channel. So give him a look, give him a subscribe. He gives a really good link to a Google document in there. Now I think you just send an email to him or something like that. I got it. I didn't want to send it to you now, but my point is it's really good. It looks and analyzes, breaks down football players. So whether you like fantasy football or you like sports cards, I think you're going to like this guy's channel. I'm excited to see what he's doing. I mean, he's really early on. I think he's going to, blow up here pretty quickly. So catch up with the Fantasy Football Card Quest dude. Allergies. Bench Clear Media. Got those guys up again this week. Big fan of Bench Clear Media. They have a lot going on, so it's hard to leave these guys out. I mean, they have Pat Geek. They have the sports card collector. I mean, the baseball card collector who did a great, breakdown of 68 years of baseball. They do a weekly show. But what I wanted to mention this week is that they brought on a new content provider, Up North Collectors. Up North Collectors is a collector I do follow. It's father and son group. They have a big following, so I thought it's interesting to see them joining Bench Clear. So you have more content coming on the Bench Clear network. So check that out. Check out Bench Clear. Welcome Up North Collectors to the channel. Another new provider to me, and definitely for me talking about, I think I followed this guy a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, picked him up on my subscriptions, and that is 90s B-ball cards. Now, I met him. We had a good conversation the other last week. He was in the Sports Card Live chat, and he was recently interviewed on Christina's Corner this last Tuesday. So he's definitely getting some attention. He's been around for several years. I thought it was interesting because House of Jordan referred to him as one of the original content providers. Now, he's been around for 2 years, but I can see that he's been putting out content for a while. He's got a cool little spin to his show. You're probably already checking him out, but if you haven't, take a look at him. He does a little review of Card Ladder, which I thought was interesting. Card Ladder is definitely getting a lot of buzz the last few weeks. Another one I want to mention, and I haven't mentioned these guys in a long time, and that is The Hype. And I'll even tell you this, I have not watched this episode yet. I'll be watching these guys probably tonight or tomorrow night, and that is The Hype, episode 143. You got to search The Hype and then the episode you're looking for. 143 is the most recent one. These guys put out a great show. They're breakers, and they have so much historical knowledge of the hobby. I wish I could, I hate missing this channel. I hate missing the show. I really, really wish I'd got the show. They get buried in their breaks, so the hype gets dropped at different times, I guess. I just keep missing it. But you just will find, if you want to learn about the hobby, go watch The Hype. I mean, go back a few episodes. They're in episode 143. Go back to episode 77 when they talk about Luca. Right? Go back to episode, I think it was 43 when they're talking about the Prism cards. They do a great job on the show, man. So check out the show. These guys, to me, are the original content provider when it comes to sports card content. All About Sports Cards, really cool channel. I found these guys in the last week or so. Obviously, a lot of you probably already found them. They got 5,000 plus subscribers. What I really like is he focuses on breakers, and he does a top 10, and apparently he does it on basketball and baseball, and I think he'll do football when the football season starts. But he does a top 10 breaks, and I think that's awesome. I've always wanted to see that. I've wanted to watch that. I like watching his channel. My only comment is I wish he had a broader expanse. Now, I imagine he's got to watch a lot of breaks to have the top 10. I mean, I watch a lot of channels just to put together my top 10, and these aren't really top 10, just my 10 people, right? So he's got to watch a lot of breaks. I wish he was, checking out some of the Facebook breaks I see going on. But again, love the channel, love what he's doing, big fan. Check him out, give him a sub if you haven't already. Brandon Chung, this kid popped up like 3 days in one day on like 3 different interviews. And I was like, man, I got to find out more about Brandon Chung. So I recently subscribed to him, young guy. I think he's a college kid or a recent high school grad or something like that. Gary V fan, which I applaud. I like the way he's doing. He did some interviews here. He's been releasing this like 10-part series of brief interviews with the Comeback Card collector. And again, I just give him a shout out. I really like what Brandon's doing. And again, I think you can, why I say you should watch this channel, you can learn from the perspective of a young kid and from, the Gary V generation. If you're my guy, if you're already in that generation, you're probably already watching the show, or you're going to want to watch the show because I love the way he approaches the hobby and talks about the hobby. So check out Brandon. Oh, next, Cahill Cards. Been a fan of Cahill's, been following these guys for a while. It's interesting. This man's a man with a plan. I make dope sports card content. He does make dope. He actually has a TikTok channel, which I picked up on my TikTok. But what he did recently is he launched his first break night. He's going to be breaking products. He wants to be a breaker. He talked about the fact that he built up this content to build up rapport in the community and build up relationships, which I think is genius. He's working on a membership Patreon channel program. Again, like he's breaking. Every Tuesday night he breaks. I think he starts at 9 o'clock. And I think he was breaking to like, after midnight. So check him out. Honestly, it wasn't his breaks. I was just watching. But like I said, I like what he's doing. I applaud it. I applaud the launch there. Next one, talk about Carolina Cards, or Cardboard Carolina. Sorry, dyslexia a little bit. New channel content provider, has some cool releases out there. Did one on weekly sports card releases, which I thought was interesting. I think you could add a little more details and you could tell he's new, and I think he's just putting these out, but I like that as well. So you can watch his channel to get a weekly report of what sports cards are coming out for that week. And then he just did a review on My Slabs, buying and selling graded cards, which I thought was awesome because I've been a big fan of My Slabs. And another thing he emphasizes in there is they sell sealed wax as well, which I think is a big point that we forget. I forget sometimes. So I was thinking if My Slabs is watching, you guys should change your name to Slabs and Wax, just because the My Slabs thing, I think people don't understand it. They think it's My Slabs. Anyway, love what Cardboard Carolina is doing. Another big time subscriber, Filmington. Really like Filmington stuff. To me, he is one of the baseball guys, like the gurus of baseball. There's probably 3 or 4 channels that are really good with baseball. Baseball card collector is really good. I love baseball card collector, investor, dealer is really good. But I would say I think Filmington comes from it with a much different angle. He's in a lot of modern stuff. There's a lot of great updates. Anyway, my point to why you should be paying attention this week is that he did a great interview, dual conversation with him and Those Back Pages. And I found it really cool. If you don't know who Those Back Pages are, again, I hope you check out his page as well. He's a really interesting guy. I would say, a 95% collector with a little twist of sprinkle of investor, as he talks about. I also want to make a shout out that it was Those Back Pages, and I think it was somebody else. Oh, and the baseball card collector last week that tipped me off to the Negan Lives comics, which I got those this week too. So I want to thank both those guys for that. So check out their channel. Last, guys, I'm going to talk about, boy, I'm running out of time, trying to keep these things short and concise. Baseball card collector, investor, dealer. He just puts out good shit, okay? Every Wednesday, I watch his high rollers. It's important to watch. Harden has been on the high rollers the last few weeks. What that tells me is Harden general cards are going up. You know what I'm saying? His base prisms, his rookies, his refractors. Harden is getting some love in the hobby. Pele was on the list. The #1 card this week is Zion again. It's a beautiful card. It is a freaking great show, guys. Check it out. Great historical information, most valuable cards from different decades. He does the best breakdown, I think, of anybody on talking about grading. So, again, check him out. So, in summary, Sports Card Live, best interviews going on right now, live chat, live interviews. Football, fantasy football card quest, new guy with a fantasy football and sports card blend and twist. Bench Clear Media expanding with Up North collectors. Check it out. Welcome them to Bench Clear Media. The 90s B-ball cards, getting that, get his name out there. He's been in Christina's Corner, guy for basketball hobby information, The Hype, the grandfather of sports card content, The Hype. Check out the show. And when you check it out, leave a comment, tell them Ziggy sent you. I don't get anything. I just want everybody to know Ziggy sent you. You go to any of these channels, you tell them Ziggy sent you, okay? All about sports cards. Again, Breaker Top 10, love it. Brandon Chung, keep doing what you're doing. Keep the interviews up. Love to be on your show sometime. KL Cards, shout out to the Breaker channel. I think that's great. You expanded. I like your plan. You're on TikTok. You're doing a little bit of everything, man. You did a Project 2020. Keep doing what you're doing, Cahill. Cardboard Carolina, love the channel, love the weekly updates. Keep the content coming. My Slabs review I thought was awesome. I can't wait to do mine and talk more about what I'm doing with my slabs. Filmington, you know, hats off, or tip the hat to you, sir. You know, one of the best content providers. Those Backpage, great interview, great content, keeping out. I freaking missed your rookie blast card box subscription thing in July, though, man. I need to try again in August. And the guy I talk about probably every week, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order, man. Check him out. Guys, thank you very much. I really hope you enjoyed the show this week. It's week 8. Have a great week. Stay healthy, stay safe. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy your family, your friends. Have a good time out there collecting and